Sunday morning in the shadow of the steeple by the relief office, I saw my people as they stood hungry. I stood there wondering if this land was made for you and me. Was a big high wall there that tried to stop me. I was excited, didn't say nothing. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking an endless bread line, my landlord gave me a 2-week deadline. The paper printed a better headline. This land is not for you and me. This land is their land, it is not our land. From your Hollywood starland, this land is not for you and me. And take your slogan and kindly stow it. If this is our land, you'd never know it. Let's get together and overthrow it. 'Cause this land was made for you and me. Protest at their house, burn a flag if you please, then fight the police. Go pick up a brick, go pick up a rock, go pick up a motherfucking Molotov cock. And if they make things tough, then throw all that stuff. A lot of stupid liberals and conservatives will tell you it's not right to do. The only logical response is to say fuck you. They've had 50 fucking years to take a little action and they blew it. They blew it. And they failed to recognize the need for revolution and never will admit. So you never have to listen to a word they say again. This isn't a joke. This isn't a game. Do you want this shit to always stay the same? Well, if the answer's no, then let's have a go. So you broke the rules, but they took your rights. Why shouldn't you put up a fucking fight? And if they don't like it, well, they can eat shit. A lot of stupid liberals and conservatives will tell you it's not right to do. The only logical response is to say fuck you. They've had 50 fucking years to take a little action and they blew
All right.
That's enough of that. Oh my god. Hi. I'm home from work.
So it's time.
So it's time to stream. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was loud.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead and mute that.
Yeah.
So Israel bombed Iran, and then Iran bombed Israel.
Then Iran
Bombed Israel again.
I'm not
Not gonna say I'm happy about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
What can you even say?
what can you even say? I'll tell you what I'm gonna say. Picard's coming into the picture. All right. And we're gonna. There we go.
All right.
All right.
Everyone
good? Put this back. Here, you can't see over there. You'll never guess that I'm a human being. All right.
We got a lot of.
We got a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit to talk about. All right.
This is my new album.
This is my new album that I was playing in the intro.
It's
It's called Chiquita Banana Corporate Death Squad. It's the name.
Yeah, pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The one that was just playing is called Lennon.
I'm just gonna keep.
I'm just gonna keep playing it
for now because
because
no one's here yet.
no one's here yet.
So this Lennon song is.
So this
cool.
Lennon song is cool. This is lyrics by Langston Hughes that I set to music.
Little mandolin for you.
Oh, bit of an echo. I've been having that problem.
Regular.
Trying to make trying to stream more. Trying to make trying to stream more. Trying to make this. Trying to stream more. Trying to make this.
Requires a restart.
Trying to make this.
Requires a restart.
Except for the.
Would it echo?
Why would it echo?
Desktop audio.
Desktop. I'm gonna try it. Try it. It's better. Better. Got bad echo. Damn. Fuck. What is? Channels? Do we want mono? I don't know. I don't know. This is crazy. All right. I'm going to turn off the filter. Okay. Oh. Sound fine on YouTube, and the echo seems to have gone here too. All right, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so I want to talk about the fucking news. Not that I, know much better what's going on than anyone else, but it's just one of those things. You got to talk about it. As our friend Ditoe, is that how you say it? Told us Pisreal has the right to fuck off, and we love it. Let me get this other window open. D2A, got it. Like a droid. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So Iran, like a famous Iranian saying. Oh, are you from Iran? Are you there right now, or? Whoops. Close that. Oh, okay. Okay, screen capture. It's slightly TOS. That's fine. Israel, Iran. Here we go. Yeah. So like. The A is America. Yeah. Okay. That's me. Not being very perceptive. Yeah. I mean. So like Iran. What do we know about Iran? Religious fundamentalist. We don't like that. We don't like women having to wear this or that, or not wear this or that. So we hear things coming out of Iran now and then, and it's like, come on, Iran. What are we doing? That's great. Yes, that is exactly right. Iran needs a nuclear weapon. It's not a desire for nuclear war. It's a desire to avoid it and to avoid war as much as possible. That's why other countries build nukes. And when the U.S., the only country to have ever used nukes in war, says, this country can't have nukes. They're too dangerous. It's really just because America wants to have influence over these places, and that's why we overthrew the Iranian leader in the 50s, who was maybe even kind of left-leaning, secular, nationalizing industry, So then in the late 70s, they have the Iranian Revolution. So then again become a country that the U.S. doesn't have that much control over. That's the problem. That's our issue. Is when we can't control these places by swinging our big dick around. That's communism. It sure is. All right. Here's what we know.
By Benjamin Rad. He's a political scientist and senior fellow at UCLA's Burkle Center for International Relations. thanks so much for taking the time this evening.
That was. I was about to say there's video quality sucks, but it's just this guy's like Zoom connection, whatever the fuck they're using.
Thank you for having me on.
Microsoft Teams.
Tell us where this is likely to go from here. You have Israel promising days of strikes, that these are not isolated strikes that we saw in the first hours. You have Iran already retaliating, and the expectation is for further retaliation. Is there a way to de-escalate this conflict, or is the greater risk that it goes the other way, that it spirals?
Yeah, for Iran, it's difficult to see an off-ramp. It has two problems. There's the external problem, the existential problem of attacks from Israel. But the domestic problem, which is now underscored by these attacks, is that, quite frankly, the Iranian government has failed several times now in recent years to keep its senior leadership safe. It has basically promised to protect its top officials, to protect its assets. It's been unable to do so. And so the concern now for the Iranians is, will this foment and instigate any more internal opposition, the kind of which they've seen off and on in the last few years? And this is, precisely one of the objectives Netanyahu had in mind, presumably when he launched these attacks. So for Iran, it's difficult to see where the off-ramp is. It has to retaliate fiercely to show that it still has a degree of control, to show that the supreme leader and his officials are still in charge, and that the country is not compromised. And with that said, it's hard to see where else it can go other than to respond and to, therefore, escalate the situation.
It's been said that while Israel certainly...
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, Iran and really, obviously, all of Israel's enemies are just expected to not do anything. They're just expected to not fight back.
Right. I mean, we've talked about this.
Right. I mean, we've talked about this throughout the
genocide.
Genocide,
which is that the only acceptable thing
for Palestinians to do in the eyes of
Israeli
and American political leaders is to just die. Is to just take it, let it happen, and don't do anything. Right.
They do the march.
They do the March of Return. That's not okay.
They do October 7th.
Now we get to genocide you. It's just fucking nuts.
Use the Iranian nuclear program as an existential threat to its own country. That Iran as well sees at least a potential path towards nuclear weapons as existential, in that it doesn't believe it could defend itself without at least the possibility of a nuclear program. How does one balance those two competing drives?
Yeah, this has been a continued struggle in the international community pretty much since the 1960s, since the dawn of the Non-Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. We've seen now countries that lacked that capability have been essentially invaded, occupied, and subjugated by much more stronger dominant countries. Ukraine's the most recent example. But then you look at, for example, North Korea, which has been able to maintain its position, its power as a result of its nuclear capability. Same thing with Pakistan.
I cannot believe
they're saying this on CNN. Because that's just it. That's exactly fucking it. Like, of course all these countries want nukes.
Use them. No one wants to
use them. No one wants to use them.
We learned so much about this.
We learned so much about this in school in America. Mutually assured destruction. God damn, my brain doesn't work after work. Mutually assured destruction. Mad.
That was what they told us over and over.
This is the way that we're able to avoid war, and of course. There was war already happening, but literally in the middle of the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. My teachers are like, "Well, we don't have war anymore because of the fucking MAD." But
if you want to say like, oh, it
do you, if you want to say like, oh, it means that like the U.S. and Russia haven't gone to war with each other directly.
like, okay,
Fine.
But,
Like, okay, but
even if it's
Um,
true, if that's how it works, then,
even
like,
if it's
okay,
true, if that's how it works, then
then
like,
why don't
okay,
other
then why
countries
don't
get to be part of
other
mutually
countries
assured
get to be part of mutually
I
assured
want to use
destruction?
it, one nuke will fix
I
the
want to
Middle
use it.
East.
One
Sound
nuke will
like my
fix the
dad.
Middle East. You sound like my
From a different
dad.
direction, though.
From a different
I'm
direction,
ready.
though.
Time to-
I'm ready. Time to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, probably.
Yeah, I
should go
mean,
without saying.
probably
I
it should
don't,
go without saying. I don't.
I wouldn't want Israel to get.
I
nuked.
wouldn't.
don't want
I
anyone
wouldn't
to get
want
nuked.
Israel to get
just
nuked. I don't want
Israel
anyone to get nuked. I
not
just want
be allowed
Israel to
exist in this
not be allowed to
form.
exist in this form.
I mean, really not at all. Like, I, just
I mean,
don't-
really
don't want
not
it to be
at
Israel
all. Like,
because
I just don't. I don't want it to be Israel because
If
because
it is, then they'll
if it is,
as
then
long
they'll,
as it's
they'll
Israel,
as
they
long as
have
it's Israel,
they're fucking
they have their fucking
demographic
like
majority.
demographic majority.
So for
So for
the,
yeah.
yeah, that was so funny early.
Yeah,
it's not
that was
funny,
so funny
obviously,
early, and it's
that
not
was
funny,
ridiculous
obviously, but
early
like
on,
that was ridiculous
after
early
October
on.
7th,
After
when,
October 7th,
you know,
when
those
you
of
know
us who understood,
those of
immediately
us
that
who
Israel was
understood
gonna commit
immediately
genocide,
that Israel was going to commit a genocide,
people would be like,
people would be like,
if Israel wanted to commit a genocide,
if Israel wanted to
against the
commit a
Palestinians,
genocide against the
one nuke would
Palestinians,
take out all of Gaza.
one nuke would take out all of Gaza or whatever.
They're not
I was
gonna
like,
fucking nuke Gaza.
they're not
you
gonna
dumbass.
fucking nuke Gaza, you dumbass. What the fuck are you talking about? It's right there. It's for the same reason that Minneapolis wouldn't nuke St. Paul if they got into a dispute. What do they call it?
Word they use for the
What's the fucking word they use for the conflict? Yeah, conflict. Conflict is like what my wife and I have when you know one of us didn't do our
like
chores.
this isn't
like
conflict.
This isn't conflict.
God damn.
God damn.
These
for
jabronis
example.
have to say.
So if
See what
you're-
these
if you're
jabronis have
nations
to
in the Middle
say.
East that are bordered by enemies or potential enemies, the concern is that nuclear weapons are the only deterrent that you have, as history has shown. And it's difficult to see how that ideology, how that thinking is going to be abated in any way as a result of what we've seen in these last few hours. If anything, it underscores for the Iranian regime that its survival is predicated on its ability to have a nuclear deterrent, so that then and only then can it match Israel.
How does Donald Trump emerge from this? Because he had invested an enormous amount of diplomatic capital in nuclear negotiations with Iran. In fact, had talks planned for this Sunday. Does this look to you like Israel spoiling those nuclear negotiations?
Well, the conundrum here is that we've seen President Trump indicate both forward-moving progress on the talks, but also he gave comments on social media and also to the press, indicating that there'd be a price to pay for Iran if it did not agree to terms that would be acceptable to all parties. And let's remember that it was President Trump who decried the 2015 JCPOA, the original Iran deal, and was the one that essentially pulled the U.S. out of the deal in 2018 when he became president. It's difficult to see where this deal negotiating with Iran in Oman would have gone that would have differed too much from that JCPOA. So it's really hard to see what the administration would have gained over the previous deal. And as it stands now, there's no deal likely, given that Iran has little to gain by continuing in these negotiations.
One consistent feature, not just of these strikes that killed multiple Iranian senior military leaders and apparently nuclear scientists, when you look at Israel's attack.
How the fuck is that okay?
How the fuck is that okay? Yeah, we're just gonna kill a bunch of
Yeah, no, it's
scientists.
fine. We're just gonna.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We're just gonna.
Nah, they're science. Well, they're doing science. We don't
Nah, they're
like,
science.
so fuck
Well, they're
'em.
doing science we don't like, so fuck them. What?
Even if they are building a nuke, which
Even if they are building a nuke, Which I think a lot of times too.
These places probably want nuclear power.
These places probably want nuclear power as well.
Maybe if
like,
we gave a shit about
you know,
climate change.
maybe if we
and
gave a
everything
shit
that we say
about
we
fucking
do,
climate change and
maybe,
everything that we say we do, maybe we would
perhaps.
Perhaps.
On Hezbollah in Lebanon, on Hamas leaders, that Israel has proven a willingness and capability to take out the senior leadership around the region, sometimes around the world, of its adversaries. What are the ramifications of that?
What are the ramifications? Not. Like,
What are the ramifications?
Can they
Not
do that?
like.
like.
Can they do that? Like, are they supposed to do that?
Because the embassy.
They killed. What was it last year? The embassy. Fuck, I'm gonna have to find this.
Iranian
Israel,
embassy
Iranian embassy
attack.
attack.
Damascus, right? It was what's
Damascus,
Syria.
right? It was Syria, right? Yeah.
Like that was in fucking Syria, and
Like that was in
we've seen
fucking
again
Syria,
this year
and
that-
we've already
that,
we've seen again
Israel
this year
has,
that
Israel
has
has
you know,
ownership.
Israel
over
feels that it
Syria.
has ownership over Syria.
But like, yeah, that's it.
But,
Matt,
like,
could
yeah,
anyone
that's
else get away with
it, Matt.
this?
Like, could anyone else get away with this?
You go to another country.
You go to another country
To fucking kill Iranian leaders.
to
in
fucking
the
kill
Iranian
Iranian
embassy.
leaders in the Iranian
fuck are we
embassy
doing?
there. What the fuck are we doing?
And this is what the point I brought up earlier is that Iran has demonstrated that it is unable to keep its top military and civilian officials safe. It can't even keep safe high-ranking diplomats and officials from other countries or from other proxy groups that it hosts in its own country, presumably in areas that are safe and secure, that are well guarded. The Israelis have shown that they've been able to infiltrate Iran's domestic security. They've had spies, they've had saboteurs, oftentimes some who are Iranian or Iranian nationals. And so the big challenge for Iran is not only the external attacks from these Israeli fighter jets, but also why is it that Iran is not able to guarantee or provide any semblance of security for its own officials? And this only now looks worse in light of these attacks.
Jeez.
Benjamin Rad, UCLA, thanks so much for joining.
Oops.
Thank you.
Wait,
Take my
is this-
Facebook out of this one.
Oops. Take my Facebook out of this one.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
where and when did Israel?
where and when did Israel? Fuck me. The fuck.
Iran has not seen such a widespread assault in a single day.
Iran has
since
not
the
seen such a
Iran-Iraq
widespread
War
assault
of
in a single day
1980s.
since
Wow.
the Iran-Iraq War of the
Israel targeted
1980s. Wow.
locations all across the capital city,
Israel
Tehran,
targeted
and around
locations
the
all
country.
across the capital city,
First
Tehran,
explosions tore
and
through
around the
Tehran
country.
about 3:30
First
a.m.
explosions tore through Tehran
Friday,
about
8
3:30
p.m.
a.m.
Eastern time.
Friday, 8 p.m.
Oh yeah.
Eastern
Shit.
time, Thursday.
Wait.
Oh yeah, shit. Wait,
That can't be right.
that can't be
That was
right.
the first. The first strike.
That was the
15
first-
minutes ago. That's not true.
The first strikes were 15 minutes ago. That's not true.
Is ET Eastern time? I don't know.
Is
Videos
ET
geolocated
Eastern
by
time?
CNN showed
I don't know.
flames and smoke billowing from
Videos
buildings across
geolocated
the
by
city.
CNN showed flames and
Residents of
smoke
Tehran
billowing
were
from buildings
blindsided.
across the city.
Many
Residents
did
of
not
Tehran
expect
were
Israel to strike
blindsided.
so swiftly. I
Many
didn't know
did
what
not
was happening.
expect
It was
Israel
really
to strike
scary.
so swiftly.
Said a 17
I didn't know what was happening. It was really scary. Said a 17-year-old Iranian told CNN, requesting anonymity due to safety concerns. Shortly after explosions rocked Tehran, Israel also struck elsewhere in the country. Israel's military said it used jets to strike dozens of military targets, including nuclear targets in different areas of Iran. Yeah, it's like... Israel gets fucking
military equipment.
U.S. military equipment.
They can just go do fucking
So
airstrikes.
They can just go do fucking airstrikes.
Iran has to send missiles, I guess.
Iran has to send missiles, I guess.
But yeah, does it say who did Israel kill?
But yeah, does it say who did Israel kill?
Several of the most important men in Iran's military and its nuclear program.
Several
were
of the
killed
most
in
important
Israel
men in
strikes.
Iran's
Insane.
military and its nuclear program were
Major
killed in
General
Israel strikes.
Hussein,
Insane.
Salami.
Major General Hussein Salami.
Didn't they kill like 100 people or something?
Didn't they kill like 100 people or something? Let's see.
Strikes on Iran.
Strikes on Iran.
18. I was hearing like 78, 100,
18.
400.
I was hearing like 78, 100, 400, like maybe 400 injuries or something.
Here, live updates. AP.
Here, live updates. AP.
Holy shit. Look at that.
Holy shit. Look at that.
Yeah, here. Killed 78 people. Okay, that's what I fucking thought. Wounded
Yeah,
more than
here.
320.
Killed 78 people. Okay,
So,
that's
yeah,
what I fucking
that's
thought.
over
Wounded more than
400,
320. So, yeah, that's
affected.
over 400,
Not over,
like,
almost 400.
affected. Not over, almost 400.
Iran's ambassador spoke shortly after Iran retaliated with a barrage of long-range
Iran's
missiles
ambassador
targeting
spoke
Israel's
shortly after
commercial
Iran
capital,
retaliated with a
Tel
barrage of
Aviv,
long-range missiles
wounding at least
targeting
34
Israel's
oh, yeah, they have
commercial
two
capital,
capitals, I
Tel
think.
Aviv,
It's
wounding at least
the
34 people.
commercial
Oh, yeah, they have two
capital and
capitals,
the
I think.
fucking Spiritual
It's
capital or
the
whatever.
commercial
Jerusalem.
capital and then the fucking spiritual
you
capital
know,
or
also
whatever
supposed to
in
be split
Jerusalem.
with the Palestinians, but
Which is,
never
you know, also supposed to be split with the Palestinians, but never.
they struck Tel Aviv, wounding at least 34 people. See, this is the thing. It's
They
like
struck Tel Aviv, wounding
Iran
at least 34 people.
always-
See, this is the
they
thing. It's
always
like
strike second,
Iran is always,
and they're always
they
more
always
restrained.
strike second, and they're always more restrained.
34. It's less than half of the
34.
People
This
killed.
is it's less than half
It's a fraction of
of the people killed.
Israel launched the attacks.
It's a
on
fraction
Iran
of the
amid
people injured.
simmering tensions over Tehran's
Israel launched the
rapidly
attacks on
advancing
Iran
nuclear program.
amid simmering
This has
tensions
been-
over Tehran's rapidly
this has
advancing
been
nuclear program. This has
the-
been
The line.
this has
my
been
entire
the
life.
the line my
I'm not
entire
exaggerating. My
life.
entire life.
I am not exaggerating. My
I was
entire
I was born
life.
in 1989.
I was born in
Taylor
1989,
Swift and AOC.
like Taylor Swift
Right.
and AOC.
My entire life.
All right, my entire life.
Iran's been rapidly advancing their nuclear
Israel's
program.
Iran's been rapidly
years,
advancing
Israel's
their
threatened
nuclear
to strike
program.
And successful
For years, Israel threatens to strike, and successful American administrations had sought to prevent it, fearing it would ignite a wider conflict across the Middle East and possibly be ineffective at destroying Iran's dispersed and hardened nuclear program. Now it's dispersed and hardened. How could you?
disperse and harden your fucking nuclear program,
How
man.
could you disperse and harden your fucking nuclear program, man?
As Iranian projectiles and Israeli interceptor rockets.
As
left
Iranian
trails of smoke and
projectiles
flame
and
across the night
Israeli
sky,
interceptor
Iran's
rockets
supreme
left
leader,
trails of smoke and flame
Ayatollah
across the night
Ali
sky, Iran's
Khamenei
supreme leader Ayatollah
not to let
Ali
Israel escape
Khamenei.
safely from this great crime.
Oh my God!
The hit
God damn. Is this a live? Yeah, it is. Yeah, not much happening at the moment, I guess. Yeah, I had no idea what any like Israeli skyline looked like. It's fun. All right, I wanted to look at this. U.S. Marines carry out first known detention of civilian in Los Angeles. Great. By India Today. Okay. We'll try to verify this. The U.S. military has confirmed that Marines detained a civilian in Los Angeles, marking the first known instance of such action. The confirmation came after Reuters images showed armed Marines detaining a man. The detention took place at the Wilshire Federal Building in Los Angeles, where Marines took charge of the mission to protect the building earlier on Friday, in a rare domestic use of U.S. troops after days of protests over immigration raids. U.S. Marines were deployed. It's so funny. It's like, bro, this is like, this L.A. protest, it got a little crazy, mostly because of the cops and shit, but like, it is nothing. It is not even close, as far as I can tell, to necessitating the fucking Marines. What are we talking about? Like this is it's not the Rodney King riots. It's crazy. U.S. Marines, deployed to Los Angeles on Friday. The military said in a rare domestic use of its forces after days of protests, the biggest backlash since President Donald Trump returned to power. And I will say this: it's been the most effective resistance since Trump has come back to power, and possibly since Trump came to power in the first place. Right? It's honestly because. They're preventing arrests. They are preventing ICE detentions. So I'm all for it. About 200 Marines will protect a federal building in Los Angeles. That is so... Again, this is so stupid. You do not need 200 Marines to protect one fucking building. Like, why are you protecting a federal building? Like, why are federal buildings so fucking important to you all of a sudden? Right? Weren't they like selling off a bunch of places, like breaking their leases and shit? Because they're like, oh yeah, we don't need all these fucking people working for the government. Oh wait, maybe we do. Come back. The administration has authorized a total of 700 Marines to be deployed to the city. Neither the Marines nor the National Guard troops in the city have temporarily detained anyone, he added. I would like to emphasize that the soldiers will not participate in law enforcement activities, he said during a briefing. Oh. Then what happened here? It says they're not gonna. No, they're not gonna law enforcement. They're not gonna law enforce. Well, what's this? Soldiers are not. But then. So stupid, man. Overnight curfew enforcement continues. This must be old because it's not nighttime in LA yet. All right. All right. I want to do this. Why communists can't support Zoran Mamdani. And this piece is from RCA, Revolutionary Communists of America, part of the Can't fucking do it today. Revolutionary Communists International. I used to be a part of this organization when it went by a different name. I left for various reasons. But I still agree with them on a lot of things, a lot of the time. Sorry, I forgot to put my dry mouth fucking lozenges in. All right. I'm gonna go through this because I think I'm gonna make a video out of this. Not this reading of it, but I want to kind of try out my arguments here because I have some issues with this article. I think that you know. Let's get into it. Why communists can't support Zoran Mamdani? I have been a big proponent of Zoran. I think that it could be a really good thing to get him in office. But let's get into this. Zoran Mamdani is a DSA member running as a Democrat for mayor of New York City. He's currently polling second in the primary behind Andrew Cuomo, the ex-governor of New York. This was May 15th. So, a month ago, he's actually shown ahead. He's been ahead of Cuomo in at least one poll as of now. Not only is Zoran running as a Democrat. Okay, this bothers me a little bit because it's like, bro, there is nothing in New York City but the Democratic Party. I don't know what you. The whole race is the Democratic Party primary. So, I am hoping. Like they get into in a little bit. I am hoping that DSA is willing. The DSA has the balls and the gumption to take this Zoran Mamdani momentum, as I call it, and leverage that into becoming an independent party. Break from the fucking Democrats. It's time. But I don't think you can just snap your fingers and have a fucking party that's going to be able to run a campaign like this. All right. He's also consciously trying to strengthen that flailing party. Okay. As he said in the New York Times interview, if we want to bring these New Yorkers back to the Democratic Party, then we have to show them that we're serious about making their life more affordable. So, sure, I concede that he says this, bringing people back to the Democratic Party. But I also think that making life more affordable is good. So, even if this is what's in his mind, okay, well, I understand that kind of, it makes people think, we can make progress in the Democratic Party. And then they come back in, and then we don't make progress because the Democratic Party exists to stop real left momentum. Fine. Class independence is essential to wage an effective struggle against the class enemy. Workers need a political party of our own. I agree. The Democratic and Republican parties are capitalist institutions which exist to advance the interests of their class, not neutral vessels to be filled with whatever class content we want. I agree. Democrats are less popular than ever. There's huge discontent with both capitalist parties and a palpable hunger for an alternative. Now is precisely the time to attack the Democrats and provide a class-independent alternative to channel this discontent. Sure. How?
That's the thing.
I'm like, what do you
want to happen?
What do you want to happen now
instead of this? Imagine the political energy that would be unleashed nationwide by a successful independent socialist campaign
in the nation's largest and most economically significant city.
Instead,
Zoran and the liberal socialists are wasting this opportunity, trying instead to direct class anger back into a capitalist party. A genuine socialist campaign would run on class-independent basis. The goal would not be to win the election at any cost, but above all to use it as a platform for attacking both parties as enemies of the working class, advocating for the creation of a working class alternative, and explaining the need to organize to overthrow the entire capitalist system. This message would get a huge echo in the current political turmoil. So what they're describing in this paragraph is just being a fringe third party.
We can get into this.
We can get into this in a minute, but
what Lenin said.
I know what Lenin said about this, which is comes from Lenin. What they're saying here. The goal is not to win the election, but to use it as a platform. And
winning,
if you win or set out to win, the goal is still to use it as a platform for attacking the enemies of the working class. Fine. But
do we
not want to make any reforms?
And my other issue with that is, again,
Lenin
was talking in terms
of a parliamentary system.
The Russian
I
Duma.
believe. The Russian Duma. And
it doesn't work that way, especially
in New
York City mayoral.
I don't know, in New York City mayoral politics.
Again, you can be a fringe third party.
You can be a fringe third party and make some memorable arguments.
The rent is too
There's
damn
that
high guy.
the rent is
right?
too damn
I
high
will
guy,
never forget that,
right?
man.
I will never forget that man. All right.
But yeah, I mean, do we not want?
Do we not
reforms?
want
Did we, I know
any reforms? Did we
that,
I know that
revolutionary communism is not supposed to be about
revolutionary communism is not supposed to be about reformism.
I thought we were
but
supposed to, get.
I
what
thought we were
reforms
supposed to,
can
get what reforms we can
fighting the rest of the fight.
while fighting the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I don't know. This
But
message,
yeah, I
we
don't
get a
know.
huge echo in the current
This
political
message,
turmoil.
we get a huge echo in the
I
current
don't
political
know if that's
turmoil.
true.
Again, I don't know if that's true.
This is why I think.
Again,
Well,
this is why I think
if you can
well,
get him into office,
if you can get him into office, and the DSA can, they have gotten a few people into office, like in state assembly and stuff.
Then you break away.
Then you break away,
Right? And then you say,
right? And then you say,
the Democratic Party is not allowing us.
the Democratic
to
Party
even
is
make
not
these
allowing us
So
to even
that's
make
why
these reforms.
We're taking them on.
So that's why
From-
we're taking them on.
From the position of
From-
power you fucking gave
From the
me.
position of power
York
you
City.
fucking gave me, New York City.
Now, the real fight begins.
Now, the real fight begins.
I hereby declare.
right? I hereby declare
Democratic Socialists of America.
Democratic Socialists of America
Independent.
an independent
Revolutionary Workers Party.
Revolutionary
Who's with
Workers
me?
Party. Who's with
You
me?
know, like, am I crazy? This is.
Am I
uh,
crazy? This is
Let's keep going. Zoran's program.
Let's
Despite
keep
running
going.
as a Democrat,
Zoran's
Zoran is
program.
generating buzz
Despite
due
running
to
as a
his
Democrat,
campaign
Zoran is generating
promises.
buzz due to his
Pledges to
campaign
freeze rents on
promises.
rent-stabilized
Pledges to
apartments,
freeze rents on
public buses
rent-stabilized
free, and
apartments,
open a handful of
make public
city-owned
buses
grocery
free,
stores with
and
lower
open a handful of
prices.
city-owned
His
grocery
left
stores
liberal
with lower
supporters
prices.
claim that
His
implementing
left
this
liberal
program
supporters claim that
would
implementing this
improve
program
workers' conditions and make
would
socialism
improve
more
workers'
popular.
conditions and make socialism more
In one
popular.
campaign video, Zoran
In
says,
one campaign video,
New Yorkers are
Zoran
being crushed
says,
by rent and childcare,
New Yorkers are
slowest
being crushed by
buses in
rent
the
and
world are robbing
childcare.
us of our time and
Slowest buses
sanity.
in the world are
Working
robbing us of
people are
our
being
time and
pushed out of the
sanity.
city they built.
Working people are being
A
pushed
mayor
out
could
of the
change
city they
this,
built.
and that's why
A
I'm
mayor
running.
could change
We
this,
can afford
and
to
that's
bring
why I'm
down
running.
the rent,
We
have
can afford to
world-class
bring
public
down the
transit,
rent, have
and
world-class
make it
public
easier to raise a
transit,
family.
and make it
do all
easier
of
to
that
raise a
and so
family.
much more,
We
because
can
this
do
is
all
New
of
York.
that
We can
and so
afford
much
to
more
dream.
because this is New York.
While
We
all
can
of
afford
these
to dream.
Aims are laudable.
While all of
and
these
understandably
aims are
popular,
laudable and
the reality is that
understandably
no mayor can
popular, the
single-handedly
reality
end
is
the
that
cost
no
of
mayor
living
can
crisis
single-handedly
New Yorkers
end the
face.
cost of living
I don't
crisis
think
New
he's saying
Yorkers
that,
face.
man.
I don't
think
think
he's
he's saying that, man.
Again,
I think he's
reform is
like
reform.
again.
Do we want
Reform is
no
reform.
reforms?
Do we want
Do we want
no
to keep
reforms?
this state
Do we
of,
want to keep this
of
state
being?
of being?
slowest buses in the world are robbing us of our time and
Slowest
sanity?
buses in the world
Do
are
we
robbing
not
us of our time
want
and
people to
sanity.
have more
Do,
time
do
and
we not
sanity?
want people to have more time and
How are we gonna
sanity?
fucking organize these people?
How are we going to
Like,
fucking
like
organize
RCA
these
loves
people?
to just
Like
like
RCA
throw this
loves to
shit
just
around.
throw this shit
Okay.
around.
But how are you going to do that?
Okay,
People can't
but how are you
afford
going
the
to do
buses,
that?
The bus is too slow.
People
they
can't
have
afford
no
the buses.
time,
The
they
bus
have-
is too
they're fucking
slow.
losing
They
their
have no
minds.
time. They're
People being
fucking
pushed
losing
out
their
of the
minds.
city.
People being pushed out of the city.
The rent is too damn high. Oh yeah,
The
that's
rent
what
is
I-
too damn high.
Um,
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
there he is. Look at this magnificent.
There he is.
gentleman.
Look at this magnificent
Real guy.
gentleman.
Real guy.
Real guy.
African American.
Real guy.
Uh,
African American Colonel Sanders.
right. Like super memorable.
Right.
Like god damn.
Like
it, that's such a
super
good-
memorable.
rent is
And
too
like
damn high.
god damn it,
He's-
that's such a
he
good the
started a
rent is
party
too damn
called The
high.
Rent is Too
He
Damn
st-
High
he
party.
started a party called the Rent is Too Damn High
So
party.
But what did this? What came
So
of
good.
this?
But
And this is just,
what did
this
this
was
what
just
came of
some,
this?
Like weird guy.
And this is
who-
just
I
this
think
was
he
just
became a Trump
some
supporter,
like weird
honestly.
guy who I think became a Trump supporter, honestly.
Jimmy
Uh,
McMillan. I think it was his name.
Whatever. Jimmy McMillan, I think it was his name.
All right, so that's that. But
All right,
back
so
to
that's
this.
that's that. But let me get back to this.
Like the rent's too high.
Like the rent's
public
too
transit's
high.
Falling apart. People can't raise
The
a
public
family.
transit's falling
So,
apart. People can't raise a
You wanna
family.
do all this
So,
organizing and shit instead of
You
want to
do all this organizing and shit instead of run elections,
But-
RCA.
How do you do that?
But
when all of this shit just keeps
how do you do that when all of
getting
this shit just
exponentially
keeps
worse? People can't even
getting
live in the fucking
exponentially
city.
worse? People can't even live in the fucking city.
Yeah, no mayor can single-handedly end the cost of
Yeah,
living crisis.
no mayor can single-handedly
but
end the cost of living
You
crisis.
can
No,
you can
but
make reforms.
you can
try.
You can make reforms. You can try. Like you can make it get in there and make an effort. And I think he should do what they're saying here. Like when you get there and you try to do the reforms, maybe you get some reforms done. Let's say you get 2 out of 5. All right, you want 5 reforms, you get 2.
The Democratic Party blocks the other 3.
The Democratic Party blocks the other 3.
Go to the public and say,
then you go to the public and say, look what the Democratic Party is doing to you.
And it's easier to do that if you are,
right?
not
And it's easier to do that if you are, not a Democrat.
He used to do
Like
that.
Bernie Sanders is an independent. He used to do that at least.
Win the fucking election.
But that's why I'm saying win the fucking
your own
election
party.
and then become your own party. Sorry.
It's rooted in the crisis of American and world capitalism.
It's rooted in the crisis of
massive
American and world
unpayable
capitalism.
public debt.
Due to
Governments
massive,
around the world are
unpayable
seeking
public debt,
not to expand
governments
public
around the world are
services,
seeking
but on the
not to
contrary,
expand
implement
public
vicious
services,
austerity.
but on the contrary, to
Yes,
implement vicious
but that's why we
austerity.
need-
Yes,
But that's why we need. From socialists in office.
But that's why we could benefit from socialists in office. In office,
Like, dude, there was incredible public housing.
there is incredible
transit in Vienna.
public housing and public transit
Okay.
in Vienna. Okay,
There's,
there's
great like,
great like
and
education
social services
and
in like Finland,
all sorts of social services in like Finland,
Germany,
Sweden,
Spain.
Germany,
how-
Spain. Like,
How do you think
How-
they got those things? And,
How do you think
people
they
might
got
say,
those
Oh,
things?
well, that just pacifies
and
people.
people
makes them
might
less
say, "Oh, well, that
likely
just
to,
pacifies people, and makes them
um,
less likely to
engage
um,
in socialist revolution, which is
engage in socialist revolution, which is necessary."
Okay, maybe, but like,
Okay, maybe, but like,
but also, I think we can't just let the floor fall out.
I think
from
we
under
can't
people, 'cause
just let the floor
then there's
fall
just
out
no-
from under people because
then
there's just no
organizing to be had.
there's
Unless we're just
no
being, like,
organizing to be had
accelerationists.
unless we're just
But,
being like
This
accelerationist.
organization, as far as I know, has always claimed not to
But
be that way.
this organization, as far as I know, has always claimed not to be that way. So I don't know.
under these conditions, any reforms that Zoran manages to deliver.
Under
for
these
one section of the
conditions,
working
any
class will have to
reforms
be
that
paid
Zoran
for by
manages to
taxing another
deliver for one section of the working class will have to be paid for by taxing another section of our class. I don't buy that. They're about to say something that
Pricing. Okay.
this is clear in Zoran's
So,
support for congestion
fine.
pricing.
That is
okay.
this, but I don't.
So,
I don't buy
fine.
That, it has
That
to be
is
that
this, but I don't
'Cause he's
I
also
don't buy that
raising
it has to
taxes
be that
on,
way.
way.
Because he's also raising
the
taxes
billionaires
on
funding,
um,
Andrew Cuomo.
as he puts it, the billionaires funding Andrew Cuomo.
I mean,
Um,
you know,
I mean,
ultimately, we wouldn't want billionaires under socialism.
ultimately,
should
we wouldn't
do.
want billionaires under socialism, but that's what you should do.
Congestion pricing, which taxes those who commute to Manhattan. by
Congestion
car,
pricing, which
ostensibly to
taxes
fund
those who
improvements
commute to
in
Manhattan
public
by
transit.
car, ostensibly to fund improvements
Um,
in public
mean,
transit.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure, but also,
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Like if you're going to use it to fund,
But also,
improvements in public transit, I don't give a
yeah, like if you're going to use it to
And
fund
it's- and
improvements in
this
public
is
transit, I
like-
don't give a
this is
fuck.
almost like Republican reason. taxes
This
those
is
who
like
commute to
this is almost
Manhattan
like
by car.
Republican reasoning.
Okay,
It taxes
what if
those who commute
the
to Manhattan
fucking
by
trains and
car.
buses were better?
Okay, what if the
Like,
fucking trains and
funded
buses were
improvements in
better?
public transit, like he
Like
says he's trying to do.
funded improvements in
What if-
public
what if
transit.
the public transit
Like
was
he says
better
he's
and
trying to
people
do.
didn't have to
What if
commute by
what if the
car
public
anyway?
transit was better and then people didn't have to
Fucking
commute by
congestion
car
pricing.
anyway?
That type of stuff is just
The fucking congestion pricing, that type of stuff is
it's
just
like one of several.
it's
and,
like
like,
one
I'm
of
willing to hear the
several
argument that, like, no, you shouldn't
and
do
like
kind
I'm
of
willing to
thing.
hear the argument that like
Fine,
no, you
let's talk
shouldn't
about
do
that. But the way
that
it
kind of
is,
thing at
it
all.
should
fine, let's talk about that. But the way it is, it should be, and it sounds like Zoran wants to make it this way. It's one out of several mechanisms to incentivize and disincentivize public transit use and disincentivize car use. Good. Sorry. And I think that's good. Sorry. Far from making socialism more popular, reforms like these divide. Far from making socialism more popular, reforms like these divide the working class against one another. Again, it might, but like those who commute to Manhattan by car, right? But they won't. It's just do that. Those who commute to Manhattan by car, do that. Right? But they won't do that. They won't have to do that. Class, or are we like getting the working class to be? So are we dividing the working class, or are we like getting the working class to be like closer together on the trains and shit? Couldn't accomplish anything. Far from it. Does that mean a socialist mayor couldn't accomplish anything? Far from it. A workers' representative in City Hall could be the focus of a nationwide struggle against austerity. There is historical precedent for such a fight. In the 1980s, our comrades controlled the city council in Liverpool, England, and used their position to launch a militant campaign against Margaret Thatcher's vicious attacks on the working class. And then what? Okay. What happened? This is such a... Okay. What happened then? Did that accomplish anything? Did that get you? Did that accomplish anything? In fucking. Did that get you closer to revolution in fucking England? Like the best thing they could have done. The best thing they could have done. The best thing for the RCA comrades. The best thing the RCA comrades could have done. You know, to socialist revolution. You know, would have been to move. Advanced socialist revolution. Would have been to move to Ireland and join the fucking IRA, man. It is true that. Come on. This fucking bothers me so much. It is true that as a society, this fucking bothers me so much. Yeah, you did what? You fucking accomplished what? We can afford better housing, transit. It is true that as a society we can afford better housing, transit, and childcare. But this will not happen through dreaming. Well, fuck you. That's just the. That was just the like little button on the end of the shit he said. Like, fuck off. We can't do this through dreaming. Okay. That's not what he's... A class-independent candidate would run on a socialist program and make it clear... A class-independent candidate would run on a socialist program and make it clear that the bosses, and not the workers, pay for the crisis. Maybe. Capitalism is the problem. For Zoran and the DSA, the problem isn't with the capitalist system itself. I mean, I think it is. I think it kind of is. But with individual politicians and their policy choices. Well, yeah, they're running against individual politicians and their policy choices. But, like, have you read the like, introductory documents for the DSA that they give you when you to be this hard? But politicians like Eric World, it does not caring about in world you it does not caring about individual politicians like Adams and Cuomo. Root cause is a system that enriches the wealthy few at the expense of those who actually make society run. And this is my problem. It's like, all right, you kind of just have one argument. And I agree with the argument. The root cause is a system that enriches the wealth. Yeah, the root cause is capitalism. Yep, totally. I'm 1,000% with you. But also, why not have Zoran win? Despite his nice sounding words, and again, fuck you. It's not nice sounding words. It's a reformist program. like, yeah, reformist. Yeah, okay, reformists are reformists. I get it. But like, it's not nice sounding words. That's he's not fucking Kamala Harris. Like he's not Nancy Pelosi. Like come on. It's not nice sounding words. Zoran is ultimately a reformist seeking to make minor tweaks to the New York City budget. It doesn't seem minor to me, but sure. In the process, he's deceiving the working class with the role of the Democratic Party and the possibility of achieving meaningful improvements under capitalism. Rather than building the influence of socialism, the working class campaign, independent of both parties and putting forward a socialist program and class struggle methods, could win massive support and serve as an example for the whole country. It could channel the anger and discontent in society into building the Communist Party necessary to lead our class in a fight to finish against the capitalists. This is the type of campaign that the RCA will run in the future as our forces grow. When? This organization, wonder if it says, they've been around for fucking decades. When are you going to do it? Like this is the thing. It's like they say all this shit, and it's like, okay, fine, then do that. But they're not doing it. Yeah, I want to see. Let's see. Revolutionary Communists of America. Do they have a Wikipedia? Oh, this is about Bob Avakian. Never mind. Revolutionary Communists of America. Is this their site? Yeah. Do we have anything down here? Info at Socialist Revolution. About. Nope. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I don't know, but they've been around for decades, man. And they still haven't done this. They still haven't fucking done it. Like they sell a lot of newspapers, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to give Zoran and DSA too much credit because I kind of doubt they're going to do what I'm saying. But when RCA says stuff like this, this is the type of campaign, and we got to build this Communist Party. I think that this a campaign like Zoran's is the way to do that. And one reason I think that is because he's still subject, like he'll still have to deal with the party in some ways, but like being mayor of New York City, not just any fucking city, New York City, okay, the cultural capital of the world, the largest city in the U.S. by far, most populous at least, and just the power and like gravitas that brings, and then he's not. I doubt that there's going to be anyone like hounding him to like toe the party line. You know what I mean? like
AOC in Congress,
and to be fair,
she
I guess she kind of
identified as a socialist at first, but whatever.
I think as a
congressperson,
as part of the
Democratic caucus,
you are so much more subject to like the fucking rules and
guidelines, and here's how you got to vote on this and that.
remember when she was gonna
vote against, I think vote against or like vote present on the Iron Dome,
and then Nancy
Pelosi pulled her aside, and she comes back weeping, and then votes yes.
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can do that to the mayor of New York. You know,
Sure.
Can the
city council,
city council and the state assembly and the
governor,
can they fuck him over and like not let him get certain things done? Yeah, probably.
But that's that's like the regular.
That's like the regular kind of
workings of politics.
workings of politics
U.S.
in
society.
U.S. society, at least.
But
But
yeah, I just think you're.
I just think you're way more independent
mayor of
when
New
you're
York.
mayor of
So
New York.
I think
So I think
that's
that's the time to
tell them to get
tell them
fucked.
to get fucked.
All right.
All right.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks for being here today.
Those of you who were. Try this out.
Thanks for letting me try this out.
I'll be back.
Probably next week.
Same time.
I hope.
And hopefully sometime.
In between
Maybe
there
Wednesday,
too.
something like
Maybe
that.
Wednesday, something like that.
But
yeah,
at Radicalize.
at Radicalize Me on YouTube. All the fucking things are right.